Hi, welcome to Algebra, Module 3.1. So we've done Book 1 of Peter Robson, we've done Book 2. So Book 1 was the red book, Book 2 was the blue book. Now we're going on to the green book, Algebra, Book 3, Module 3.1. Now you don't need to know the entire book, only certain chapters or certain topics. So we'll start off with the ones that you do need to know. We have to do additions, subtractions and substitutions, and then module 3.2 will be other things. So let's start. Here we have A plus A plus A plus A. These A's represent apples. And A on its own is the same as saying 1A. Now this is called a coefficient. Coefficient. Where you have a number in front of a letter. It's called a coefficient. Algebra is quite straightforward. This A can be represented as apples. It can be apples. It could be anything else. It could be bananas, it could be cherries, it could be anything. So it's a language, you're learning a language. So algebra is the language of maths, and it's not difficult. So A plus A plus A plus A equals 4A, and that's how you write it. 4A. Very straightforward. So let's do this. 2A plus A plus 5A minus 3A. So how do you do this? You go 2A plus A is 3A plus 5A makes it 8A. So you've got 8A here. So you do all the adding first, and then you minus it from 3A, which is 5A. Some of you can do it in your head, good, but you could make silly mistakes, so try this technique. What about if we have 2A plus 3B plus 7A minus 20A minus 10B. So you get something like this in an exam, and they ask you to simplify it. Basically add and subtract whatever letters they are. So look at it very carefully. Look at the A's first. So I would put the A's together. 2A plus 7A minus 20A. As I'm doing this, I cross. You see? I cross. This is a quick technique. You cross, cross, cross. So you don't get confused of which ones you've done. You've already crossed it. Then I get the B's together. So 3B comes first minus 10B. So you cross, cross. Watching? You cross. And you work them out. They're two separate things. A can be apples and B can be bananas. 2A plus 7A is 9A. 9A minus 20A is minus 11A. And 3B minus 10B is minus 7B. So how do we put that together? This is how you put it. Put minus 11A minus 7B. Makes sense? Minus 11A minus 7B. So now we're going to do something which technically is called directed numbers. Directed numbers. addition or subtractions. or negative numbers. So for example, we got minus 3 plus 5. So I'm just drawing here. This represents 0, 1, 2, 3. Then we've got 1, that's negative. Negative 2, negative 3. You have done this at school, but just look at it like this. We're going to start with minus 3 here. I put it in red. Going forward 5 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the answer is 2. So you need to know this. You just need to know how to move from left to right. And the first clue is to look at the first figure. So let's try a different one. Put that to one side. Use green. Let's say minus 7 plus 2. So minus 7, minus 6, minus 5. So you're going 1, 2. You're going forward 2. So the answer is minus 5. Does that make sense? This plus gives you an indication that you're going this way, the right side. If it was minus, you'd go to left side. So minus 5 minus 7. So if it's a plus, you're going the right side, going forward. If it's negative, you're going left side, backwards. So look, minus 5, go back 7 places, equals minus 12. Okay, I don't need to draw it out for you, but if you get stuck, draw a ruler line, and this is positive and this is negative, and you just put your numbers. So you need to know that. One other thing that I want to show you, it may come up in 11 plus exams, but you should know it anyway. Negative, negative, these two make a positive. So 3 negative negative 5 equals 3 plus 5, which is 8. Yeah. And this is the basic rule of that. Just in case it comes up, you should know it. A negative and a positive and a negative, negative and a positive, 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 negative, negative. These are in between numbers, so a negative and a positive makes a negative. A negative and a positive make a negative. Positive, you know, makes positive, and two negatives make positive. Alright, just look at that. Just look at it, think about it, and I'll give you an example so that you know, you can definitely understand it. Okay? A positive and a negative will make a negative. A negative and a positive will make a negative. Two positives make a positive, and two negatives make a positive. Here we go, I'll show you why. So you may have 7 minus minus 5. Two negatives make a positive, so it becomes 12. You may have a 7 positive negative 5. The dominant one is this, because a positive and a negative together, negative will be dominant, so 7 minus 5 equals 2. You may have a 7 negative plus a positive 5. Again, if it's a negative and a positive, the negative dominates, so 7 minus 5 equals 2. And then if you have 7 plus 2, it will give you 9. And sometimes in maths questions, you could get a question like this. It may prop up. Generally it doesn't, but it may prop up. And so I don't want you to be confused. I want you to look at it and say, oh, two negatives make a positive, two positives make a positive, a negative and a positive is a negative, and a negative and a positive is a negative. Doesn't matter which way around, if it has a mix, a negative and a positive, then you take the negative number. In fact, I'll slip it into the exam this week so you get the idea. So let's take it one step further. What happens if you've got a negative 8, positive negative 3? What happens now? So what does these two represent? Positive negative means negative. So you got minus 8 minus 3, and that's all it is. You have to think like that. That's all it's saying, and that becomes minus 11. Now do you get it? You look at it from a logical perspective and you deduce it, you break it down. So for example, let's say minus 15, negative negative 3. So what does this represent? Positive. So it's minus 15 plus 3, which gives you minus 12. You need to practice. In this Peter Robson book 3, it doesn't have the two negatives in it, but I want you to know it. It is handy to know, and it will be tested in my tests anyway. So at least you're one step ahead of the game in case they bring it up. Alright, next topic is substitutions. So substitutions. This comes up in verbal reasoning, especially the GL assessment style verbal reasoning. CEM, I haven't seen it yet, but it may come up. But definitely it's a typical maths question which will always come up. For example, A equals 3, B equals 5, and C equals 2. Yeah? Substitution, we all know in football language, means you substitute a player for another player. So in this situation, you're substituting the A's into numbers. So if I said A, B divided by C, you're substituting the A and B with 3 times 5 divided by 2, because C is 2. Now look, if it's A and B together, any numbers together, any letters together like that means multiplied. You multiply those letters. So 3 times 5 is 15, divided by 2 is 7.5. Yes? It's a very easy topic. You can master this topic very quickly. Let's do another one. Let's say A equals 7, B equals 10, C equals 5. So let's say 2B divided by C. So remember what I said, these two means 2 times B. B is 10, so 2 times 10 is 20, and C is 5. So 20 divided by 5 is 4. When I ask you 20 divided by 4 is, and I take a break, that means I want you to answer it. So then I know you're following it. I know I can't hear you, but from my perspective it's better you respond so your mum can hear you or your dad can hear you. Let's see another situation. Let's say 3 C D divided by A. Now A we will put as 10. I'm making this very easy. B we can put as 7, and C we can put as 12. Now this means 3 times C times D. You could do D times C times by 3, or you can do C times by 3 times by D. You can do any order, but the point is they all are going to be multiplied with each other. So we'll do C. Oh, I have to change this to a D. Yeah. Let's do C times D. 12 times 7 is 84, and 84 times by 3 is 252. But let me just double check that. How do I quickly check it? There's 84. and I'm going to times it by 3. So 3 times 8 is 240, and 3 times 4 is 12. So yes, it's 252. Now I'm going to divide that by 10, because A is 10, so it becomes 25.2. So you just do the homework at the Peter Robson books, the book 3, and you'll get it. For example, let's say T is 5, and you get a question like this: 4t squared. Now, it's wrong for you to do this, 4 times by t, and then square it. That's wrong. Because you've heard of bid maths. Bid maths. This represents subtraction, addition, multiplication, division, indices. That is called indices or powers. And this is called brackets, like this. So, there's no brackets. This question does not have brackets. What does it have? It has an indices. So you do the t squared first. 5 is the t. So 5 times 5 is 25. Then you times it by 4, gives you 100. That's my son screaming in the background. Let's do another one. Let's check W R squared. W is 5, R is 12. Which one comes first? According to bid maths, this comes first. So R is 12, so 12 times 12, because 12 squared means 12 times 12, is, you guessed it, 144, and then you times that by 5. Okay, I'm not going to work it out, but that's how you do it, because W equals 5. Okay, this is substitution. You do need to know that. The other types of substitutions mentioned in the Peter Robson book, substitution 2 and 3, it's too advanced. It's not needed. Okay, and that's it. I hope you do well in the exam. We will be testing you, and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing. Typical type of questions. Typical questions for this Saturday's exam. It will probably be between 15 to 20 questions. Yeah. We'll start off with nice and easy, like this: 3a plus 4b plus 7a. I think you get the point. 4b again, and then minus 20a. So what did I say? You put the a's together and you put the b's together. So you get that type of question. Okay. You'll get a question on negative numbers. So the toughest type of question you get will be like this. That type of question where you got the 2 in between. I need to throw that in just so that you've understood the principle. And then the easy questions are like this. Yeah, you get the point? Easy questions. Alright, so now that's out of the way. And then you get the substitutions where you get A divided by B, and then you're told what A is and you're told what B is. And A could be a 3.5 or B could be a 2.7. You don't know, it could be like that. Or you get like 2t cubed. So this goes first, and then you times it by the 2. Remember, indices go first. Indices or powers. Yeah, this is the I in bid maths, or powers is the O in bod maths. Alright, so you're going to get those type of questions. And a tough one would be like 9r cubed divided by 2 t squared, something like that. That would be the toughest type of question. Remember, you do the r and times it by itself 3 times, r cubed, then you times it by the 9, then you divide it by t squared times by 2. So, you know, multiple calculations, but you can do it. Yeah, this class is a very good class. You've been working very hard. Just look at the videos a few times, practice the questions in Peter Robson's books, think about it, always get time to just think about it, and create your own questions. This is one thing I haven't said yet. Create your own questions. I've just told you what could come up in the test, so now start creating your own questions. A very good student is one who tries to predict the test, tries to predict what type of test I'm going to give. Just like in spellings, you know I'm going to give you the hardest spellings. So in maths, it's going to be slightly tricky. So I'm trying to catch you out. So you have to try and be one step ahead of me. Okay, so just looking at the questions, thinking about it, and creating your own questions. Have a study buddy. That means pick a friend in the class and meet with them once a week, predicting the type of questions, practicing the questions, and you will find you'll be really exceptional at English and maths and verbal and non-verbal and all these things. Alright, good luck.